How's it going, everybody? This is Darrin with GuitarControl.com bringing this video lesson, and today I want to teach you how to play a lick from the Sultans of Swing. It's Mark Knopfler lick, really cool, recognizable arpeggio lick. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at this. Alright, so start off the sequence that you're doing with your left hand. Let's just look at that first. Alright, so you're going to take your first finger and you're just going to bar it at the 10th fret across the B and the high E string. And then you're going to take your pinky, and you could use your third finger, I guess, but I think it's easier just to use my pinky. I'm going to put that on the 13th fret. So the sequence is it's going to be 13, pull to 10 on the high E string. And then it's going to be the 10 on the B string, back to 10 on the high E string. So that's the sequence. So it's a group of four, so it's 16th notes, so it's like 1, E, and So you have a whole measure of that. Then what we're going to do now is that the note on the B string is going to go up a half step. So just use your second finger. So now you're going to pick 13, pull to 10 on the high E, to the 11th fret on the B string, back to the 10th fret on the high E string. And you have a whole measure of that, same timing, 1 E and 2 E and then you're going to take that shape and you're going to move it up. So now it's 15, pull to 12, and then your middle finger going to be here on the 13th fret of the B string. And then the whole thing just repeats. So as far as what we're doing with this hand, not too tough. But it's what he does with the picking hand. So you could play this, you could use a guitar pick. So you're going to be pick, pull, but it doesn't quite sound right, and I also think it's like really hard to play it this way, at least is for me, because if I start with a downstroke, if I go down, pull, up, down, now I've got to do another downstroke if I want to alternate pick it, or if I want to keep that same sequence. If I alternate pick it, down, pull, up, pull, down, up, and that's kind of awkward too. Anyway, so I want to show you how to do it like how Mark Knopfler does it. He plays just with his fingers. So right now Guitar Control is giving away this really awesome daily practice routine to improve your lead guitar chops. This was put together by our very own Silvio Gazquez, a two-time Guitar Idol finalist. This routine covers the four main concepts that are necessary for lead guitar: alternate picking, legato, sweep picking, and tapping. All the tabs and exercises are all included in this free ebook. There's a link in the description where you can get yours. So how I'm going to do this is the notes on the high E string I'm going to play with my first and my second finger, and then the note on the B string I'll be playing with my thumb. So if I come back up into this first position here, I'm going to use my middle finger to pluck the high E on the 13th fret to pull to 10. And then I'm going to use my thumb to play the B string, and then my first finger to play 10 on the high E. So it's second pull, thumb, first. So I think that sounds a lot better, and that's a pretty tricky technique. I'm not like really super great at it, and I cannot play it up to tempo that way. But I think it's just like a really cool, very cool lick, and very, kind of a unique sound. Playing this way too, even if it isn't a thing that you are just going to play with your fingers, this is really good for like working on your skills of hybrid picking. So playing this particular thing with hybrid picking, I believe, for me is really, really hard, because now I'm going to use my middle finger to pluck, pull, and then my guitar pick to play the B string, and then my middle finger to pluck again, so it has to pluck twice, or middle finger pull, pick, pick. See, that seems really awkward as well. So I personally believe this is just the kind of the easiest way to do it. So to work with this, to build up your speed, what I'd recommend you do is just work on really breaking it down. You want the notes even, so you could count it as just 1, 2, 3, 4. Practice it with the metronome. Until you get, you get smoother at it. So the whole sequence, starting here in our first position, so 10th fret, 13th, so 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E, and now we're going to move that note up on the B string to the 11th fret, so I'm going to use my middle finger. So on that last one there, he does the 13 pull to 10, or back up to 10. Now when it goes to 13 this time, the last one, 13 to pull, it's like a muted note. So I'm not sure if that was something that he did on purpose, but it really fits good. It sounds really good. And then we're gonna, so that's our first two measures. Now we're going to move up, so we're moving that whole shape up a whole step. So that's going to put me on the 13th fret of the B string, 12th fret of the high E, and then the 15th fret of the high E. Now this one, it has two measures, so 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and so at the very last one, it comes back to the 10th fret, 10 on the B string and then 10 on the high E string, and then the whole thing would just repeat. All right, so making that last part there, that's hard. I catch myself like completely skipping out on that part. It's just kind of a strange transition. So we just practice this separately that way. Pick, pull, scoot down, 10, 10. Okay, so another thing you want to look out for when you're playing this too is that if you're playing with a really clean tone, it's not going to be as noticeable, and this is played with a clean tone, but just for this type of playing, is that since I'm just working on these strings, I don't want these strings making noise, so I'm actually just resting, this part of the palm of my hand here, but the ball of my thumb, I think they call that, just have it resting there, just in a spot, so these strings are muted, but I have access to these higher ones. So there you have it, little lead guitar lick in the style of Mark Knopfler. So if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related topics. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.